HTC VIVE has just announced her latest VR headset, and it's actually aimed at a wide group of consumers this time. It's not like their previous release, the VIVE Flow, which you could not use for much except casual entertainment. No, this is the VIVE XR Elite, a fully self-contained, standalone VR headset that supports 6 DOF tracking controllers. It's HTC's first consumer standalone that you could see as a competitor of the Quest 2, Quest Pro and Pico 4. Specs wise, if you didn't care about price, so I've had a chat with HTC ahead of the announcement, so I've got all the details for you today. Let's talk about it, but first, Happy New Year's! I hope you enjoyed it and are excited about this year. I know I am, because you know, big stuff is happening finally after a year of what I called a VR drought. So please subscribe if you haven't yet to keep up to date about VR and join me beyond reality. HTC VIVE has had a long and interesting history as a VR headset manufacturer. The company's first VR headset launched in 2016 in collaboration with Valve. It was praised because it had cutting-edge technology and was a better experience than everything else back then. Since then, HTC has released several updated versions of its headset. Every new release had nice advancements, but they've been having a harder time as other headsets got better and cheaper. HTC VIVE just hasn't hit the mark recently. Will they be able to this time? I'm trying to figure this out. The VIVE XR Elite looks just like the VIVE Flow, but thankfully it has some major improvements as they combined features from both the VIVE Flow and VIVE Focus 3 into this one. The VIVE Flow didn't have a lot of use cases, but it was so tiny and comfortable. The Focus 3 was only for enterprise, but it was the best standalone I tried at that time. So, color me intrigued. The XR Elite has a 4K resolution display, 1920x1920 pixels per eye, and a 90Hz refresh rate. The field of view is claimed at 110 degrees and will have custom designed LCD panels and pancake lenses. It has an adjustable IPD slider, and like the VIVE Flow, it includes an adjustable diopter in the lenses, useful for people who wear glasses. The standalone features will run on a Snapdragon XR2 chip. Yes, not XR2 Plus, but HTC has assured me that they can achieve the same performance as that chip because the only difference is a separated component for better heat dissipation, something HTC claims they have solved themselves. Now, the price isn't low, as you probably have guessed. You can get the full kit for almost $1,100. It's expensive, but HTC's argument is that their business is not built on harvesting users' data, so this is probably the best option from a privacy standpoint. I think it could be interesting as the price is lower than the Quest Pro, which is my main headset right now, and on paper, the XR Elite has these interesting improvements over the Quest Pro. The VIVE XR Elite has 4 cameras that support 6 DOF inside-out tracking. You can control everything without controllers using hand tracking, and it supports the VIVE Focus 3 controllers. This means the new headset will suit most use cases, not only for casual entertainment, but everything like gaming and productivity. It's a step in the right direction, but I have some thoughts on their content strategy, which we'll talk about in a bit. Let's talk about some of the things I like first. During my Focus 3 review, I was impressed by its controllers. They could be a little bit more sturdy, but other than that, they have done a great job with the tracking, and I'm guessing this will be the same on the XR Elite. The XR in the name also gives it away, as the headset will have mixed reality capabilities. Like the Quest Pro and the Pico 4, the headset has full color pass-through, but the XR Elite is the only one that includes a depth sensor. Now, I haven't tested it yet, which I will during CES, which is by the way happening this week, but that probably means it might look much more like real life than other headsets, and it can sense depth, making some things possible, not possible on other headsets. HTC claims it's the best looking pass-through. I'm interested because while we don't have many apps yet that make use of the color pass-through, I do enjoy all the apps that support it. Something else I like is that the VIVE headsets have always been been designed to be modular. For example, the headset will support some accessories already out, like the VIVE wrist tracker. In the future, HTC told me that people can buy a single unit accessory that includes both eye and face tracking. While your wallet might not like it, it is nice to be able to pick and choose what you need and don't need. Aside from that, the design is more like the Flow, much thinner at the front, lighter, more compact and highly portable. But instead of only glasses like temples, it has a halo-like strap. It no longer has a top strap, which reminds me of the Quest Pro, and that one gets uncomfortable. But according to HTC, the XR Elite is more back-heavy than front-heavy because of the battery at the back. The entire weight is around 620 grams, including the battery, and HTC claims it to be the lightest and most comfortable headsets they've ever used. They said some developers can use it for 18 hours a day. Honestly, that would be fantastic if true, but comfort is so personal, so we'll have to test this. But I was happy to hear that the back strap is removable, and you can replace it with temple pads to make it more VIVE Flow-like. It also makes it tiny, so it fits a little case like this one. The battery is hot, swappable and removable too. HTC claims a battery life of 2 hours on a full charge and supports 30 watts fast charging with USB power delivery. There are speakers integrated into the strap for out-of-the-box directional audio too. Now, if you put on the headset, you'll be transported into the VIVEverse, the headset's home environment. The VIVEverse is also HTC's open metaverse. This means anyone can make something in their metaverse on any device, and they say it's up to you to do what you want. The VIVEverse also supports avatars and VRM standards, so you could import your VR chat avatar if you wanted, which is an interesting approach. As for games and apps, you can play PC VR games if you have a gaming PC, and you can do that via Wi-Fi or wired. HTC also already has a standalone library. Their store is called VivePort, and there is already some good standalone content in there, as they've built it up a bit with their previous headsets, but there are not a lot of deep games that you can spend hours and hours in. So I kind of feel like a grandma complaining about the same thing over and over again. The XR Elite is probably great hardware, but if it doesn't have any apps that make you keep coming back, it's really hard to recommend this headset at this price over something like the Meta Quest, because they just have a lot more experiences and exclusives you won't be able to play on HTC's standalone headsets unless developers decide to port it. So I asked HTC whether they have a content strategy, like Pico is investing a lot of money to get games to their platform. But HTC says they don't have these plans, as they trust on their good relationships with devs. This just makes me wonder if developers are really willing to spend their own time and money. I will guess that only happens if many people adopt this new headset, which I don't see happening if there's not enough content. It's like a vicious circle, but I really hope I'm wrong here, as it's nice to have more options. I would love to hear what you think about this. Would you buy this headset even if it doesn't have all the standalone content Quest has? Let me know in the comments below. So the pre-orders start today, January 5th, but the shipping date is still unknown at the time of making this video. Also, when I post this, I'm actually at CES 2023 and I have an appointment with HTC to demo this new headset. So I will be sharing some initial thoughts on my socials, so follow me there. And when I'm back, I'll probably post my first impressions video or maybe a review, so let me know if you have any questions about it and I'll try to find out for you. Again, Happy New Year's, thanks so much for being here. Special thanks to all our champs, but I love you all. 再见 and VR on.